Stick to what you're good at. Whatever that is, my father laughed, tossing my business proposal into his wastebasket while the entire board of directors erupted in mocking applause. Marketing? Really, Sophia? You can barely manage your own Instagram account. 6 years later, I sat across from Harrison Automotive CEO, watching him sign away their biggest contract, $30 million over 5 years, to my company, knowing my father would arrive for his 2 p.m. meeting to find his largest client already gone. The proposal that ended up in the trash had been modest. A digital marketing division for Castellano Logistics, the shipping empire my great-grandfather built from one truck. I'd spent 3 months researching, analyzing competitors, projecting returns. But to my father, Vincent Castellano, and his hand-picked board of yes-men, I was just the family disappointment playing businesswoman. The shipping industry doesn't need tweets and hashtags. Uncle Roberto had chimed in that day, belly laughing at his own cleverness. We need real men who understand trucks and tonnage. Digital transformation is the future of logistics, I'd tried to explain. Every major competitor is investing millions in. Every major competitor isn't Castellano, my father interrupted. We've done fine for 70 years without your innovations. Maybe if you'd studied business instead of that arts degree. Marketing is business, I said. Marketing is coloring between the lines, he countered. Your brother Antonio understands real business. Contracts. Negotiations. Men's work. The board, all men over 50, all family friends or distant relatives, nodded sagely. My PowerPoint died on slide 3, unviewed and unmourned. Sophia, sweetheart. My father continued with patronizing patience. You're 26. You've never run anything bigger than a social media account. This company moves $500 million in freight annually. We can't risk that on your experimenting. Then let me start small. Give me one territory, one client. To what end? So you can play CEO? Post selfies from board meetings. He stood, signaling the meeting's end. Find a nice boy, settle down, leave business to those who understand it. The dismissal burned worse than rejection. They didn't just think my ideas were bad. They thought I was incapable of having good ideas at all. I cleared out my desk that afternoon. The nepotism job in community relations had been a courtesy, spending days planning company picnics and Christmas parties while Antonio made deals and counted money. I'd lasted 2 years post-college, hoping proximity would equal opportunity. It never did. Where will you go? My mother asked at dinner, after father had recounted my adorable little presentation to the family. I'll figure it out, I said. Probably best, Antonio added, not looking up from his phone. Less awkward than keeping you on out of pity. I had $5,000 in savings. A marketing degree they mocked. And absolutely nothing left to lose. I started Meridian Digital Logistics in my studio apartment. One laptop, one phone, one mission. Prove that modern shipping companies needed more than trucks and tonnage. They needed data analytics, route optimization algorithms, customer portals, real-time tracking, predictive modeling. Everything Castellano Logistics refused to consider. My first client was a flower shop needing overnight delivery coordination. Revenue, $500. Hardly industry-shaking, but they loved the simple tracking system I built, the automated updates, the delivery confirmation photos. Word spread to other small businesses frustrated with old-school shipping companies that treated them like afterthoughts. 6 months in, I had 12 clients and could afford part-time help. A year in, we moved to actual office space, a cramped suite above a pizza place, but ours. By year 2, Meridian was handling logistics for 40 small to medium businesses, offering something revolutionary, shipping that actually communicated. That's when I poached my first Castellano employee. Marcus Chun had been their best route optimizer, trapped in a cubicle running the same software since 2003. I offered him partnership equity and the chance to build something new. He brought 2 others with him. Talented people whose ideas had been rotting in my father's wastebasket for years. They're calling you the black sheep, Marcus told me, laughing. Your father apparently gave a whole speech about ungrateful children stealing employees. Good, I said. Let him talk. We have work to do. By year 3, Meridian had 60 employees and a reputation. The shipping company that actually gave a damn about user experience. Our app let customers track packages down to the minute, reroute in real time, communicate directly with drivers. Revolutionary concepts in an industry still using carbon copy forms. We were growing 30% annually. Castellano was shrinking by 5. Year 4 brought the first big fish. Hartley Manufacturing, a mid-sized client who'd been with Castellano for 20 years, switched to Meridian. My father called personally. "This is family betrayal," he spat into the phone. "This is business," I replied. "Something you said I'd never understand. You're playing with toys while I run an empire. Your empire is bleeding clients because you refuse to evolve. How's that men's work treating you?" He hung up. We didn't speak for 8 months. Year 5 was when everything accelerated. We'd built proprietary software that predicted shipping delays with 94% accuracy, automatically rerouting to avoid problems. Amazon wanted to license it. Suddenly, Meridian wasn't just competing. We were innovating beyond what traditional companies could match, including Castellano, whose if it ain't broke philosophy had left them a decade behind. Year 6. Today, Harrison Automotive, Castellano's crown jewel, their biggest client for 35 years. The meeting had been scheduled for weeks, initiated by Harrison's CEO, William Patterson. He'd been uncommonly specific about the timing. Thursday, December 15th, 11 a.m. "Your father has been good to us," William said as we sat in his office. "But good relationships can't overcome bad service anymore. Lost shipments, no tracking capability, drivers who can't find addresses because they're still using paper maps. It's 2029, not 1999. Meridian can migrate your entire operation in 6 weeks, I promised. Full digital integration, real-time analytics, dedicated account management. And we'll guarantee 15% cost reduction in the first year through route optimization alone." "The board's already decided," William said. "We're just negotiating terms now." We spent 2 hours crafting the deal. $30 million over 5 years, with performance bonuses that could push it to 40. Harrison's volume would double Meridian's revenue overnight. As William signed, he checked his watch. "Vincent's coming at 2 p.m. Old quarterly review meeting we've had scheduled for months. I suppose I should tell him. I'll be gone by then," I assured him, though part of me wanted to stay, to see my father's face when he learned his biggest client had jumped ship to his disappointment daughter's toy company. William smiled sadly. "He still talks about you, you know. Calls you his wayward daughter playing with computers. I don't think he understands that computers run the world now." "He understands," I said. "He just can't admit his little girl might know something he doesn't." I left Harrison's building at 1:45, sitting in my car across the street. At 2:03, I watched my father's Bentley pull up, saw him stride inside with his usual arrogant confidence. At 2:47, he emerged looking like he'd aged a decade. His driver had to help him into the car. My phone rang immediately. "Antonio, what did you do?" he demanded. "I ran a business. Something you all said I couldn't do. This will kill him. Harrison is 20% of our revenue. Then maybe he should have evolved when I suggested it 6 years ago." "You vindictive little." I hung up. There would be more calls, more accusations, more family drama. But sitting in my Tesla, bought with earnings from the company they said I couldn't build, I felt only satisfaction. That night, I called an all-hands meeting at Meridian. 60 had become 200 employees, and we'd need more for Harrison. Young, diverse, innovative people who understood that shipping wasn't just about moving boxes, but about information, efficiency, and customer experience. "We just landed Harrison Automotive," I announced. The cheers were deafening. "This changes our trajectory. We're not just competing anymore, we're leading." Marcus caught my arm afterward. "Your father's going to come after us. Price wars, employee poaching, whatever it takes." "Let him," I said. "He's fighting with yesterday's weapons. We're building tomorrow." "Still," Marcus hesitated. "He's your father. He was my father when he threw my proposal in the trash. When he said I'd never understand business. When he laughed at my degree, my ideas, my ambition." I looked out at our open office, the exact opposite of Castellano's wood-paneled fortress. "Family is who believes in you. This company is my family now." 6 months post-Harrison, the industry landscape had shifted. Meridian was the case study in business schools, the startup that revolutionized hidebound logistics through digital innovation. We'd won 3 more major clients from traditional companies, including 2 from Castellano. My father requested a meeting. Neutral Ground, a restaurant downtown. He looked older, grayer, smaller somehow. "Your mother misses you," he started. "Mom has my number. The family thinks, perhaps it's time to consider a merger." Castellano's experience with Meridian's technology. "No. Sophia, be reasonable. This isn't vendetta. This is capitalism. You worship it, remember? The strong survive, the weak perish. Isn't that what you taught Antonio? You're destroying your heritage. I'm building a better one. Castellano had 70 years to evolve. You chose not to. That's not my fault or my problem. I'll match any offer. Come back. Run the digital division. The division you said was worthless? The innovations you threw in the trash. I stood. I have a board meeting. My board where I'm CEO, not the disappointing daughter playing business. You've made your point. No, Dad. I've made my company. There's a difference. I left him there, staring at cold coffee. Outside, my driver. Yes, I had one now. Held the door to my own Bentley. A petty gesture? Maybe. But earned. Back at Meridian, I stood in my office. Corner suite, floor-to-ceiling windows, everything Castellano's executive floor had and more. On my desk sat the original proposal, retrieved from my father's trash 6 years ago. I'd had it framed. Castellano Logistics Digital Transformation Initiative rejected. My assistant knocked. The Journal wants a quote about the Harrison acquisition. Tell them Meridian is proud to partner with forward-thinking companies ready for logistics' digital future. I paused. And add that we're always interested in talking to businesses whose current providers are stuck in the past. Antonio would rage. My father would fume. The family would gossip about the ungrateful daughter destroying her birthright. But I hadn't destroyed anything. I'd built something they couldn't imagine, succeeded in ways they'd never believed possible. Not despite being dismissed as too dumb for the family business, but because of it. Their mockery had been rocket fuel, their laughter the spark that lit it. Stick to what you're good at, my father had said. Turns out, I was good at everything they weren't. Innovation, adaptation, seeing the future instead of clinging to the past. Most of all, I was good at proving that the boardroom's biggest mistake wasn't rejecting my proposal. It was underestimating me. The $30 million Harrison contract was just the beginning. By next year, Meridian would be bigger than Castellano. By the year after, we'd probably buy them. A generous offer, of course. I wasn't vindictive. I was just better at business than the men who'd said I'd never understand it. And that, more than any contract or acquisition, was the sweetest victory of all.